All right, guys, we are picking up right where we left off. Showing you guys exactly all the steps you got to take to put a roll-in bedliner in any truck and make it look like it was just sprayed in and you spent 10 times what it actually cost you. You know, we're not picking up right where we left off because the truck's outside. You know what? We'll get to that. We'll explain all of it. Just stick around and check out this episode of Pugliese Speed Shop. So if you guys remember, last episode, we had this guy in the shop, and we started off doing like some little stuff. Then we put some sun visors in and did some interior stuff, and then we decided to get after this bed, right? So we started by knocking some dents out of it and making the bed rails look as good as possible. Because guys, if the bed rails don't look good, the bed ain't gonna look good. That's just how that goes. And then we started sanding and sanding and sanding away. And, well, it shouldn't have taken us a month and some change, but it did. All right? It won't take you that long. It'll probably take you a couple hours, which is all I really worked on it for. Just time management was not on my side. All right? So we got this guy all sanded down. You see, we got the bed corner. This was bad, but it's all good now. The other side was and it's beautiful too. Everything's sanded down nice, and the reason it's outside is because there was all sorts of junk in there, and it was all sanding dust and whatnot. So rather than making a mess in the shop, I decided to pollute my entire neighborhood, I guess, and take it for a ride. But it worked. So we're now going to take some compressed air, blow this whole thing down, and then we'll go over it with some acetone, make sure that's all nice and everything's as clean as can be, and then we'll tape off and start rolling it. That's the short version. But as you guys know, we've already found a lot of things on this, some rust, some things stuck and dents and all this other stuff that we weren't planning on dealing with. So you never know what's going to happen. Speaking of which, let me show you the tailgate and some of the work we had to do there. All right, I think I showed you guys at the end of last episode how I was going to pop these off. And then we talked about it also on the tech tip. I ain't wanting to come off, as you can see. So we're just going to give it a little taparoo, and put the bolts back in, call it good. Because they're doing what they're supposed to do. It's nice and round. Now it's rust-free. So speaking of rust-free, we ran all along here with the rust neutralizer, and looking a whole lot better. Now, yeah, there's still a little bit of holes here and there, but it's all solid, and you don't see it. So if you don't see it, it's not really there. That's just science. So we're gonna clean this guy off, get the truck in the shop, wipe everything down, and start putting down this coating. I mean, after we tape it off. I think everyone knows the process. something's going on with my camera where like I hit record and it goes for like 2 or 3 seconds and then stops. We're at 7, so we should be good. I did record putting the tape down on this side, doing some stuff more on the, who talks like that? Anyway, on the tailgate and a couple other things that didn't record. So, trust me when I say it was done. I was trying to give you guys an idea of like, yeah, the prep is a little time consuming, right? I mean, so you got to clean everything, right? Clean everything out, then you got to sand it. Then you got to blow it all out. Then you wipe it all down. Then you tape it all off. After that's all done, anywhere you touch, you go back and wipe again. Because anytime you do any kind of paint, any kind of coating, anything like that, cleanliness is next to godliness. I feel like that's a saying. I've heard that before. So you got to be clean with it. Otherwise it doesn't adhere. So that's what you want it to do. That's what you're paying it to do, right? So you see how obviously this line right here, I had some blemishes. Let's call them blemishes. And we all know, if I covered every blemish on this bed, it'd be to the ground. So I went for the big ones, especially this region right here, because there's a lot of damage. There was. She's looking good now. So I kind of picked the lowest one I was willing to go with, and that was it. I'd love to have it, I actually like it not over the top at all, but I'd like to have it up here if I had to. I can't. So, and then back here, you see, I kind of just, as I taped it, it naturally did that. All right? And I'm not crazy about it. But I really don't have a choice because, yeah, I'd like to have it squared off and go across the tailgate. But right down to there and across the tailgate at that height covers all, no, not all. Again, if I wanted for all the blemishes, I'd have to coat the entire tailgate. So it covers most of the big ones. And I gotta flip this guy over to show you that. I'll do that, and then nothing to it but to do it, right? You guys saw me tape it off. I went to this height just above this line that's on the naturally down the whole truck to cover all this big stuff. And I probably should have rust converted a couple of these things. I'm going to do that. And then it'll be dry enough after we're done putting the coating down in the bed. All right. Rust neutralizer has been applied and already looking better. So that'll be nice and dryable, if that's a thing, after we finish this guy. So this is what we're working with here, guys. This is getting harder and harder to find, but I like it. So, Duplicolor truck bed coating, right? Do it yourself, easy roll on, all that. I've used other ones. This is the guy right here. I really like the way this one comes out. It comes out, well, there's a textured sample of it. And you've seen it if you saw how I did the hard body. Prep it, mask it, sand it. I would mask it after I sand it just because I actually sanded it. This here, they give you a scuffing pad. If you tear the masking tape, it's not going to leave it like won't be a nice crisp line. Then roll it in. Everything you need is right here. So, we've got the kit. The choice of professionals. Professional's choice. You get it. And 1 gallon of truck bed coating. So, she took a little whammo.
Gene Tennis at the plate.
But a couple of them. Not on, they really beat this guy up. No big deal. In our kit here, this is why I like this. This roller, guys, I really dig it. But you really can't save on it. You know, you use it once and one application, you're pretty much done. So, your little chip brush that get in the corners. All right. This is the key right here, man. This roller lays down the best pattern. I absolutely love it. And if you think you're doing your entire bed with this, you are crazy, because not gonna be enough. And then of course you got the roller tray. You know, let's we assemble this guy. We'll get some stuff mixed up. And guys, it's time to go to work. Guys, I absolutely love it. I mean, just how clean the bed rails look. I mean, forget about it, right? I mean, it's gonna look, I don't want to pull the tape off right now because we might have some touch-ups to do, and it's still wet, so you don't do that. We all know that. But anyway, that roller just puts the perfect amount of, like, texture to it. If you guys remember, we did the Suburban with that spray on stuff, it went down awesome. It looked great. I just didn't like, there was no texture to it. So that's why I like putting the roller down. You can kind of see it a little bit here, a little bit like here. I can't tell if it's the lighting or what it is, but it might like a streak or like a roller mark or something. That'll be gone. It'll all go away. And I like you can kind of make these lines nice and stuff with the roller. See, it's just, guys, it just cleaned everything up so much. And you got the, what do you call it here, tailgate. I almost forgot to take those bolts out, but I did. Luckily, I left them hand tight. It just looks great, guys. Over here we wrapped it around and went down further than I wanted to, like I said, but it will match this part right here. So it should all come together perfect. I gotta take my word for it right now because we're missing parts to put it back together. So I did put this on pretty thick, and the reason was I know from using this a couple times there wasn't going to be enough for a full second coat on a full-size bed. You're just not going to have enough. So if you want to do a full-size bed and you want to go really like thick with it, you're going to need another kit, or at least another gallon or half gallon. They sell smaller things. This is all that's left, guys. And it's not a whole lot. It'd be fine for touch-ups or something like that. So we will keep it. This is starting to become not useful. We're going to throw these in plastic bags and throw them in the fridge because that's an old trick. Keeps them from hardening up. So if we do have any touch-up to do, we have a little bit of product left. We got a little bit of, well, life left in that, tools, I guess. And yeah, so I guess we can throw this stuff out. And we're starting to take away from the buildup of supplies over there. But if you guys notice, if I gotta, we got a couple of these turbo cans left. So if we do gotta do some touch up or put another coat or whatever, I think this will be fine over the Duplicolor that has the texture I like. So if we see a little color, a little like touch up, a little more thickness, yeah, I think that'll work. But we're calling this a win. And this truck is cleaning up so good. So it's definitely 10:30 on Sunday night, which is when you want to finish your project, you know, when you got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. We definitely need to do something about that. But until then, we really don't have a whole lot of options. So we're going to leave this, let it cure overnight, come down tomorrow and see if we need any touch-ups anywhere, whatever, and we'll go from there. We're waiting on parts, so that hinge is supposed to be here Tuesday, I think. So here in the next couple of days, we'll get it all back together, pull all the tape off, all that, see how it all looks. But for right now, guys, I'm tired. So I will see you tomorrow.
Several days later.
I know the kid already ratted me out. It ain't the next day. But there's good reason. We wanted to make sure this Bedliner cured like 100%. And now that it has, we can take a look at it and see what we got to do from here. All right, guys, so it's cured for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. And it's obviously dry as a touch. A lot of the different shades or hues or whatever have gone away. It's all kind of where it's going to be. And I like it, but I don't love it. All right, and I'm going to show you why. See if the camera picks this up. Where is it at? I'll find it, guys. There we go. See that? There's some green poking through there, a little teal, right? And then, honestly, guys, it's kind of spots like that all over, and it's not good. So we're gonna need to do it. It needs another coat. That's what's up. And I don't know if I showed you guys. Yeah, I think I did. Because there's some spots here. Look here. A little teal poking through. Now I know I'm nitpicking it, but when this is out there in the sun and it's this dark black with teal underneath, it will show through and it will look like trash. So we got us an idea. In case you wonder, the tailgate's about the same, and it's kind of like, you know, in the little gaps. This is the bad part about the roller. You see, you got in there a little bit. A couple of spots right there. the roller doesn't like to get into that little spot right there. So it makes it hard. It makes for a nice cleanup, I'll be honest with you there. But everything's a give and take. So, well, let me come up with a plan. I'm working on it. Okay, so we all know the best thing to do would be go ahead and buy another gallon of this stuff, because this is all we got. We don't got so much. We got some, but not enough. The thing is, I don't think I'm buying another gallon. Now, only if we had something laying around the shop, maybe left over from a previous project or something, that'll get in all those gaps and kind of put a nice even coat down and act as a professional grade truck bed coating. Maybe something like that would work. Guys, this is why you don't throw stuff out. If you remember, I used that stuff right there on the Suburban. I'll show you a little clip. So my biggest issue is there's not really any texture to it. I mean, you see a little bit, and actually this is kind of just because this was rusted and pitted and I didn't sand it good enough. But as you go through it, I mean, it's not bad. It covered great. It's not, see, it's kind of, I like a little more texture, a little more grit, you know, this way stuff doesn't slide around too much. That's honestly the only problem I have with the product. All right, so it came out good. I did say I wouldn't use it in a truck. Now, the reason I said I wouldn't use it in the bed of a truck is because it didn't have any texture, right? I wanted something with a little grit to it. You know, so you put something around in the bed, it don't just slide around, right? That's what I was looking for. Well, we have the roll-on stuff here. We got the texture. So, if we just use that to kind of seal this and spray it nice and get a whole nice little, I think it'll work. Actually, I more than think it'll work because I Googled it, guys. You know, Google does, ask Bryce. Bryce finds everything out on Google. That's how we get all the answers for the trivia. That's probably coming, it's always coming up, first of every month. So a little plug for Bryce right quick. If you're Friday night, first Friday night of the month, check out Garage Trivia over there on Ice Spider Garage. And old Dana will be over there with him. Ollie's always doing something, so check them guys out. Ollie's Garage, Ice Spider Garage, and they put on a hell of a show. I may be the reigning champ right now. Maybe I'm a little bit, you know, might be bragging. Just a little, I'm not bragging. Check them out. But Google said that I can spray that over this as long as this is well cured, which it's been sitting for a week. That was part of the reason for that. I actually did have a reason this time, not just laziness and stupid work. But we're going to give it a shot. My plan is I'm going to do the inside with that, because I do have some of that stuff and I want to waste it all out because I hate wasting things. When I say waste it out, I mean into the project. So I think I'm going to put the bed rails and the top of the tailgate. We're going to use that on. And I think I'm going to start though by spraying the inside, see how that comes out. And actually we're going to go from there. That's where we're going to, yeah. I'm just going to start doing it. Just hear me out, all right? You're probably wondering, we were just doing a Bedliner, And now we got this thing in here. Like, do we go into the future? Like, what? Kind of, all right? This is just another day at Pugliese Speed Shop, all right? We put that coat down for the bedliner, put it outside the cure. Well, actually, I let it start the cure in here. And then this is Megan's Crown, 2025 Crown. We traded the Camry in a couple months ago. She picked this up. She absolutely loves it. This thing is, it's a nice car, guys, I'll tell you. A little too fancy for my taste. It's got all sorts of automatic stuff that I just don't know how to use. But beautiful car nonetheless. And it was dirty. And you just can't have that, right? Besides, I was shooting up to PA in the morning because tomorrow is Hamburger Festival. Now, by the time you guys see that, it'll be long over. But I don't think anybody's surprised to know that I like hamburgers. And we're going to see my mom. We're going to see Joey. We're going to see Laura. Going to be great. Going to eat a lot of hamburgers. I hope they got cheese. I prefer a cheeseburger. I'm sure I should be. Maybe I'll bring some just in case. But we also, because everybody's getting in on the Cutlass build, we got some parts to pick up there that Joe's helping us out with. So you see we got a whole bunch of stuff going on, and I just want to let you know. I'm going to move this thing out now that it's done and get the truck back in here. You guys see how it all looks. Guys, car's on the table. That process, I have never done it before. But I think I should patent it because it's effing awesome. I mean, it looks like, well, it was sprayed in, but it looks like it was like a whole, all the problems, it was perfect, guys. The problems with the roll-in liner is you can't get in the corners real good and all that. You got to use a chipping brush and all that. The problem with that spray-in liner I had in the Suburban that we use the extra from was it didn't have, you know, the right grit, you know, the right texture. Right now, it's way dry to the touch. It's been a couple hours. The consistency is perfect. It actually was a little bit too gritty, but when it was just rolled in, it kind of knocked that down. It was a little bit too shiny too. It knocked that down. So I love it. I absolutely love it. And guys, it cost me $83. $83 for that kit, and I had the other stuff left over. Now, if you want to use that kit on a full-size bed and you can go up over the rails and all that, you're going to need more. It's just, 1 gallon is not enough. 1 gallon was great on the Ram 50 I did. It was great on the hard body, but when I did Megan's Ram like 100 years ago, same problem. Now, they make little spray cans for that. They make quarts, all these other things you can do that you don't need to buy another whole gallon or another whole kit. There's also all different types of these guys. You don't have to use the Duplicolor. Maybe you don't like the Duplicolor. That's fine. I do. Herculiner, they make that. It's about $90. That, maybe it's the applicator or the Herculiner. I'm not sure. It's just very coarse. It reminds me of like non-skid on the ship. So I don't want to have flashbacks to like flight deck or whatever. So I'm not a big fan of that stuff. But Raptor liner is a big one. It comes with a spray kit. We're gonna figure that out now. That's the next one we're gonna do, guys, because we're not gonna stop doing bed liners. We already figured that out. But I think those are about $250 for the whole kit. Less than $100. Guys, you remember what this bed looked like? In case you don't, maybe the kid can put a picker up. Let's do that. But yeah, totally cleaned it up. Nice crisp lines. The bed, if you guys remember, this was just hammered. And look, it looks like nothing ever happened. If you remember also, we had that metal rail right here, whatever that thing's called. And it rubbed it all out. That's why this is, yeah. I can't get everything, like these scratches are still here. If I want to get everything, I had to do the whole tailgate. We're not going to do that. We got some ideas for all that. So, that's where we're going to end it, guys. Because I'm happy. I love the way this thing looks. And now we're going to look at some paint correction. And I got to take care of the hardware. We're waiting on parts. That's the whole thing. But I'm ending it with a win, guys. Came out perfect. I can't say that enough. You're probably tired of hearing it. That's unfortunate. Sorry. But yeah. As I say, guys, if you want to have the coolest thing in the parking lot, you better be ready to put in some work. And sometimes that work is spending $83 to make it look like you just got like a $500 to $700 job done. Thanks for watching, guys.